Alright guys, let's start this project. So you type in your HTML there. Choose HTML5. That is if you don't have this set up already. So in the title section, you name this personal profile. Then we're going to link our style sheet. That's the CSS. Or there's no need linking it because there's something I want to do. Remove this meta and this body if you have it. After the head section, we are going to put in style. That is where we would style our document. So I don't want to introduce a different style sheet. You can use div. Just put tag there. Then inside that tag, type style. Style. Now remove this text in the center. So this is just what you will type in there, style. In that style, we'll work on it later. Let's work on the body. So because you cannot style when you don't have anything in your web page. So in the body section, we would put a div. A div is a container. Choose the second div that has a dot. That will introduce a class. So give it a class called profile card. Profile card. Use a hyphen there. You can decide to use another class, but that class helps you to identify the particular div you are working with. Now, in that div, we are going to put an image. So choose the first image there, the one that has src and alternate. So this src is going to be the name of your image. So you cannot put the name when you don't have an image. If you click up here, you would see my own image. I have two images here, image one and image two. So I'm going to remove image two and try to put it again. To put an image, click on these three dots close to your new project. Click on the three dots, say import files. Import files. Click on this, import files. Then you find where you saved your image in your phone. So my own image, I saved it in TechTitan's property in pictures. In that pictures, I saved it in WhatsApp. And it is among the last images here. So I'll scroll down to the end. I'll scroll down to the end. Bear with me, image is plenty. So this is the image here. Now it has appeared here as img 2025 something something something. So I'm going to rename it by clicking on these three dots here so that it will be easier to identify. I can rename it as image 2. If you want to see your image, you can click on it and click right. This is the image. So you go back to your index. Now I'll type in image2.jpg, but before I will finish typing it, it will display the name there. So and other images that are in your folder. I'll click on image 2. The alternate there is the name of the image. So I will come to these two parentheses after alternate and say, let's name it a student. A student. That's the name that will be displayed if you hover your mouse on that image. So after this div, I will introduce my first header, which is h1. You know that h1 is the biggest header. So this first header, I will name it. Use your name there. So let me use TechTitan. TechTitan. Then after the header, I will introduce a paragraph. with a class. So inside this paragraph tag, I will give space and say class. So I'm giving this paragraph a class so that I can easily identify it. I can decide not to give it a class also. After typing title, in between these two less than and greater than signs, I will type in web developer. This is the paragraph itself. The other things I typed there is just a class I gave to the paragraph. This is the main text that will be displayed. If I launch it, you will see what will be displayed there. Web developer. Web developer, please. So after that, we would give another paragraph, I guess, which we would name New York. Sorry, this is supposed to be a paragraph. It's supposed to be a paragraph. So I'll give it a class also. Or let's just forget about giving it a class. Let's call this New York. New York, USA. USA. And then in this div, I will give another div. Divs are containers. So you can use as many divs as you can. Although there are other ways of designing websites without using divs. So I'll give it a class. Just click on this class container here. Sorry. Click on class. This is where I get my class from. This is where I get my class container from. So click on class and then we'll give it a class. Let's say social links. Social links. These are the classes I used in that project. So that's why we are using it in this class. Then I would drop some links for LinkedIn, GitHub, and Twitter. Those things displayed in that web page, those things are links. Those blue texts, they are links. That's why they are blue in color. So links are automatically blue unless you decide to change the color. So I'll use hashtag so that when I click on that link, it will still take me to this particular page, to this particular home page. That's why the hashtag is there. Then in between greater than and less than, this is the text I want to be displayed there. So I want to have LinkedIn first. LinkedIn. Then I will decide to copy and paste down because I want to have the same text, the same link but different texts. So in this other one, I'll type in GitHub. GitHub. Let me use a capital H there. GitHub. Now come down again and paste this link again. Sorry. Then I'll name this Twitter. Twitter. That's all for the links. Then my div is already closed here, so make sure you close your div. And I will put in a button here before I will close the next div. A button, you already know what buttons are in your web page. Buttons are things you click. They also look like links. Buttons take you to the next web page or to a particular place in your web page. So they serve as links too, just that they are more emphasized. So we say contact me. This is a button that is designed to take you to contact the owner of the website. So we're just creating the landing page. That's the front page. So now let's look at how this stuff would be in our web page. So let's say, sorry, let's say I have something like this. Um, okay, okay, this is what we have. This is what we have. So it looks anyhow. But now we can use the CSS to make this look proper. These are the links. The links are always blue in color. And you see I clicked on it, it took me back here. If I click on GitHub to take me back here. So that's the function of that hashtag. It takes you back to your initial page. Let me correct something here. Now, let's style this. Let's style this. In your style sheet, we're going to type in some styles. The first one, the body. We work on the body. Put in your curly braces there. Then type font family. You know what font family is? It is the style of the font. That's the style of the text you are using. Let's just make it simple. Let's use Arial. Click the first one. Then enter. Background. Background is going to be the color of the body. The color of the body. So this background, I'm going to put column and then I'll say hashtag F4 F4 F4. This is a color white, but although it's not purely white, but this is also another way of writing white. So then margin, I'll give it a margin 0. Margin 0 is the space around the text. Every text in that body should be 0. So padding, okay, margin is where each text starts from in your page. Where each text starts from. Then padding is the space around the text. So it should have a padding of 40 px. 40 px. That px stands for pixels. Then display flex. So this flex is just like a container too. It's just like a container. Justify content. Justify content, we'll say center. This will take all the text in your page to the center. So I'm supposed to be going back to this. I'm supposed to be launching it so that you will see everything we do, how it reacts. On your own, you can still check how everything reacts. I can try to open this in split view. Let's see. Let me open my Chrome down here. Or let me open the Chrome first. Let me open the Chrome first. Then set Chrome on split screen. Sorry. Let me open this on split screen. Then open my SPCK editor down here. Good. Now when I launch it, I have something like this. I can now decide to open it in browser. And this is it. Okay. Okay. I think that's not working out quite well. Okay, now I copied the URL and pasted it on my Chrome and it is running successfully there. So let me make sure I'm using Zoom there. Good. Very good. Now I can go back and continue my coding on the other page. So justify content center, then align items. So let me show you something. If I remove this code, justify content, so that you see what it adds to this code. Sorry. And I say run this again. Then here maybe I say, okay, let me take it back and see. Align justify contents center will take anything that is a content, an item, anything that is an item on your page to the center, while align items will take every single thing to the center, both items and text. So align items, can use a colon there and say center, and say center. Now when I launch this again, um okay, so if you look at this now, you can see that everything is in the center of our page. So, but there's another code we can use if you want your text to come to the center. So we can say text align. That's another code. Text align. If you use text align, you can say center. When you click, when you launch this now, look at this and look at this other one. You can see that on my Chrome, the texts are on the left hand side, while here now the text is in the center. So this is another code you can use to what do I call it? Send your text to the center of the page. So, but we'll continue with that later. We'll do another stuff there within the cost of the styling. So let's continue. After align text, let's say height. The height of the body itself should be 100 VH. VH means vertical height. Remove this parenthesis if that is what you got. 100 VH. Then close it with your semicolon. Now if I launch that, I just have something like this. Now I want to work on the profile card. If you remember, we gave something a class here. That's the first div in the body. We gave it a class of profile card. So I want to style it now. I will say dot profile card. Why did I use dot? Because it is a class, not an element, not a tag. So whenever you want to work with classes, like this profile card is a class, it is a class. So you start with the dot operator. So you put a dot there before naming it. Now put in your braces and go in. We're going to give it a background FFF. That FFF is white. You can see, sorry, hashtag FFF. Yeah, that is white color too. So we also give it a border radius. Border radius is the roundness of the edge. The roundness of the edge. So what I gave a class is this TechTitan web developer New York, the background of everything in the body. You can see that in this other image here. If you see this my image and the text, they have different colors, different background colors. The image itself has a white color while the background has a little bit of ash. But now I gave the background the white color. So everything now is having one color. That's the need for that. Then background white. So let's give another code. Border radius 15. Border radius is the roundness of the edge of any box. So border radius, let's say 15 px. If I launch this, you can check the edge of this here. If you can see it, the edge is now a little bit round. The edge is now round. That is down, not up. So we'll go back again. Then we can give what we call a box shadow. Box shadow.
as the name goes, it's a shadow of the box. So I will say 0, 4px, 20px, RGBA. RGBA means red, green, blue, and A means contrast. A is the contrast of the colors. I'll put a parenthesis here, and then I'll say 0, 0, comma 0, comma 0, comma 0.1. Now these zeros I'm writing, the first zero is for red. What I mean is that the color red should not be visible. That's why it is 0. The second zero is for green, third zero is for blue, and the fourth one is 0.1, which is the contrast. That is, the text should be a little bit, um what will I call it, contrast, I don't know. So let's launch this and see how it will look like. Okay, nothing much changed there. Remember, this is the profile card we are working on. So let's look at another thing here. Let's look at the padding. The padding is the space around the text. Do not forget that. Padding 30px. Let's give a padding of 30px. If you look at this now, it is now spaced out a little bit. It's now spaced out. Um, what else? What else can I edit here? I can say maximum width. The maximum width should be 350px. Maximum width should be 300. It won't. Okay, it's it's made that our box smaller than the picture. If you look at this now, the box itself is smaller than the picture, because I said the maximum width should be 350px, and probably that picture is around 500 pixels wide. So that's why our box reduced. Now I will still resize the image with another code. Text align center. I want the text now to come to the center. So text align, I'm going to say center. When I launch this, you will see my text now in the center of this div. This thing you see here, this thing you see here is the div. Div started from here. Sorry. Let me take this back a bit. Excuse me. I hope our record is still on. Okay, we are still on. So let's continue. Let me remove this Chrome side so that we can focus on our page. Okay. I've said text align center. You know what it does? It brings all your text to the center of the page. Then we can say image. Now I want to work on the image. This time around I'm styling, so I won't be needing all this code. What I just need there is img. Put in your braces. I will say border. The border should be 5px. Then I will give it a color solid hashtag DDD. This is still ash color white. This, sorry, let me make this pop up, please. Let me make this pop up a little bit. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so let me launch this now. We'll have something like this here. Next up, now this is the image.
the image, I just gave it a border of 5 px. If you check the background of this image now, it has a color, a solid black ash color. So that's the solid I gave there, and then DDD is for ash. Then border radius 20 px. This would make the border a little bit round. I would say border radius 20 px. 20 px. If I launch this now, if you look at the edge of this image, it is now round. That's the function of that. Then padding 0 px. Let's give it a padding of 0 so that nothing would be spaced out in our image. Then a width of 240. This width now will resize this image to what we need. So 240 px. If you look at my image now, it is now contained in our container, in our div. So I just reduce the width of that image. I can decide to reduce the height also. So I can say height 300 px, or increase the height rather, though we don't know the size, the current size. So if I say 300 px, okay, that was reduced. We'll have something like this. So guys, we are almost done. Next up, that title. We're going to give make this title stand out. If you remember what we gave the class title, it was this let me see, this paragraph, web developer. That's what we give the class title. So we're going to style that text web developer. I'll give it a color. Sorry. Name title class with dot operator. Then introduce your braces. Then we say color. The color there is going to be hashtag 888. This is ash, a senior ash to hashtag DDD. So you can get all these code, all these color codes from Google, or you can select it by tapping on the color itself if you are using a PC. Or sometimes try to combine numbers and see what you get. See 887 still gave me a number. If I use some letters will still give me some colors. Okay, let's say I press E continuously, it will still give me ash. So this is how it works. Sometimes you can find out colors on your own. So we have 888 there. Then font size. First of all, if you launch this, see your web developer, it has taken the color of ash. So that is what we need. Font size 16 pixels. So let's give this a font size and see how it looks like now. Okay, there's no much difference there, but just know that font size increases the size of your text. Assuming I use 40 pixels here, you see your web developer, the size has been increased. So that is how it works. Then after the font size, margin bottom. Margin bottom means the space from the bottom of the page. The space this text will take from the bottom of the page. Let's say 10 pixels. So that when I launch this, we'll have something like this. So there are many ways to set up your text. So the more you work on projects, you develop your own methods. Is there any other thing to design there? No. Let's go to social links and style them a bit. Social links. In that social links, I think, let me see. In this div, for social link, I still have a link here, A. All these A, these are links. So I'm going to style the three of them once by doing this. In that style, after typing social links, I'll give space and say A. then open your braces. Now I'll be styling everything at the same time. If I say margin, the margin 0 and 8 px, the first margin should be for horizontal, then the second one should be for vertical. If you look at my three links, they have now been arranged horizontally. So that's how to work on different items at the same time. Text decoration. Text decoration means, if I say none, it means to remove every style surrounding the text, every underline, anything. Okay, look at this text now. They don't have those lines that shows they were links. They are now like normal text, but actually when you click on them, they are links. So text decoration none will remove the underline in the link. You can set up the color, although the color is already blue, but using hashtag 0077cc, you use the color blue. It introduces the color light blue. So you see something like this now. Then font weight. Font weight is the size of the text. So I'm going to say bold. You can use bolder. So bold makes these links bold. And I think that is all. Then the button. Let's style the button. When I say button and no, no, button, open your braces. Then margin top. Let me just type in the codes once, then we'll check out what it gives us. Margin top 15 pixels. Um, Padding. This padding, I'm going to do both padding left and padding right. 10 pixels and 20 pixels. Okay, this is for both horizontal and vertical, not just left and right. Then background color. Background color, I will use the same blue. That is hashtag 0077cc. That is light blue. Then I will give it a color itself. The difference between background color and color is that background color, the color of the background, like this button now has a background color of blue. Then the color is the text color. So when I say color white, it means that the text color should be white. If I launch it again, we'll have the text color there to be white. Then what else? Border none. Border should be none. That means the border should be removed. So let's set this as none. The black color, if you notice, there was a black color around this button. It has been removed. Then I can say border radius to make the border curved. Border radius, let's use 25 this time. 25 pixels. If you look at the button now, it now looks like a real button. That's the function of border radius, to curve the edges of that button. Then is there any other thing? Cursor pointer. This cursor will only work when you are using a PC. So when you hover your mouse on that button, it will show a finger. It will show a finger. But this is an Android phone, so you might not see that code. Might not see the effect. Let's increase the font size a bit. So font size 16 px. 16 px. So we'll have this. Our button is ready. And hover will only work if we are working with a PC. So assuming you want to put this in your PC, let me still add a code for that. If you say button, put semicolon and say hover, this would take care of when you hover your mouse on that button, the color will change. So let me say background color. Let me say background color. Let's give it a background color of let me see. Let me use my codes hashtag 005FA3. This is blue. That's all. So you check your work. I can maximize this now. Maximize this. Okay, so we are done with the codes. Now launch it, and then this is your profile page. You can decide to use your image here and your name too to make your own more special, to make it stand out. So thank you guys, and see you in the next video. Our title is wrong. This title is supposed to be personal profile. So you can correct that in the title here by saying personal. Use a capital PESONAL. Personal profile there. And that's all. See you in the next video.